Hello all and welcome to another Caffeinated Entertainment video. It's Art here with the book review for The Snow Queen by Joan D Vinge, the November 2019 Sword and Laser Book Club book pick for the month of November 2019, as I just said. Wow, this book was a monster to get through. I listened to it mostly on Audible, which the Audible narrator was one of the bright spots as she did a lot of the voices. I can't remember her name. Maybe I'll put... I can't remember what her name was. But the characters themselves, while I wanted to enjoy the book definitely has elements of potentially great sci-fi. Potentially great sci-fi. Doesn't mean that it is great sci-fi. It's potentially great sci-fi. However, it falls short. Although the characters are well thought out, they're well imagined, the world around it was too complex, too political, too many layers to the onion for me to care. There were many times I found myself not caring and zoning out, which is the mark of a bad narrative to me. Not saying Joan D Vinge can't write. I'm saying that she missed the mark with this one. I did like her explanation of the Snow Queen, Summer Queen, and all that stuff, and the hierarchy. However, the pacing was too slow, and things moved too... They moved like molasses going uphill on a cold day in January. Very, very, very slowly. The robots in the story and the aliens in the story were, for the most part, the best part of the book, in my opinion. They were the most feeling and the most well thought out, in my opinion. However, like I said, she spent so much time on the hierarchy and the political ambiance and menagerie of the book that it took away from it. I feel as though she was trying to be Games of Thrones-esque. I don't know if this book was written before Games of Thrones or after Game of Thrones, but I feel as though it was trying to be Game of Thrones-esque with science fiction thrown into it. Not saying that it wouldn't make a good series, and maybe books get better, because maybe this book suffers from what all first books in the series do, and that is world building. They are a bit slow, but to me this felt a bit more concrete-shoed than most first stories in a long-running series. As a matter of fact, I don't know if it's a long-running series. It may or may not be, but that's the way it felt. And if it's not, then it really, really cripples and suffers. It is over 20 hours long in audiobook format, so you've got time to world build, but you have to do it in such an interesting way that it needs to be done. The only reason it held my attention was because it was the Sword and Laser Book Club book pick for the month, and I wanted to get it done to be able to do this review. You know, on this channel, I try to avoid reading books that I won't like or books that I may dislike. Unfortunately, that did not happen here because it was the book club book pick, and sometimes you don't know if it's a bad book until you get into it. I mean, that is just the fact of the matter and the roundabout things. Like I said, the alien creatures and the robots were amazing. The the battles and the discussion of battles were good. Everything else around that, the concubine, the siege of power, the royal hierarchy, all of that made it crawl to a snail's pace. It made it rough, completely rough and pitiful to get through. I cannot wait to move on to Blue Moon, the new Jack Reacher novel, and to just watch me and other books that are on my Audible to be read list, and a bunch of other stuff. As I wrestle with what to give it on the GoodReads scale, it is a complete. If this sounds good to you and this is your ball, then go right ahead. I'm not telling you not to do it. If this is your ball, go right ahead. This was not my ball. I cannot recommend it. It's a complete pass for me. I will again try Joan D Vinge, and I hope that she does better next time. I do not let one work from an author dissuade me from that author. Now, several works will eventually dissuade me from that author, but not one. So, for me, I'm going to give it a 2 stars. I did not like this book. It wasn't written well. It wasn't English garbage, but it was very, very slow paced. If I wasn't reading it for the book club book pick and for review, I would have stopped it a long time ago. So 2 stars, in my opinion, is being generous. If you listened to it or read it, leave that in the comments down below. Leave what you thought about it and let me know what you thought about it. Let me know of any other good Joan D Vinge books or Vinge books down in the comments down below as well. But without further ado, and to get out from underneath this garbage, this hot mess of a political Game of Thrones sci-fi book, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more, please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video if YouTube is working that day. Hopefully it is on your end. I hope for all of your sakes. And mine too. And you know, after Saturday's currently reading update, I'm going on a holiday hiatus. I will be back in the beginning of January, either January 8th or January 11th. Come back Saturday to find out exactly when. I should have it nailed down by then. But until next time, I'm going to go off and listen to an actually excellent book as I try to finish off the platinum for a couple games. Until next time, everybody, happy reading. I'll see you again soon, and peace.